Share your screen with your audience. That's exactly what I want to do. You already knew. Let's see. Allow. What am I looking for? Let's do an entire screen and make it the middle one. I guess I'll get this off of that screen. I gotta show this thumbnail though. This is killing me because I just imagine if it was seen in this video and I didn't address it, you know what I'm saying? With the potential awkwardness. Sharing my screen. Screen is on it. All right. I mean, it's not much different than Zoom. So the microphone I'm using is the microphone on the webcam. The Insta360 webcam. I'm also using the camera, the Insta360 as the camera too. It's Insta360 link. So what I want to do is later I'm gonna listen to this and see if I like this audio better than I like what screen recorded audio sounds like coming straight from the Mac, and decide, you know, which one of those microphones is the better way to go. And then the other thing that I want to test is I want to use voice mode wherever I'm at a desktop. Like 90% of the time I use ChatGPT or Gemini, I'm using voice mode. It's just quicker. And if not voice mode, then I'm probably using dictation or their transcription function, their transcribe function. But I want to make sure that the microphone like switches when I click that microphone button, or you know, so I'm curious to see if both audios come through, like if the live's audio of me is not interrupted by the audio, my audio at the same time being received in the chat, in the GPT. So yeah, let's test some stuff. Let's see. I'm sure I got GPT up here somewhere. I had it make me a thumbnail. There it is. All right, let's bring it over here. I had it make this thumbnail based off of oh, that's the thumbnail that I thought was hilarious. Like he ain't really that dude. He ain't really that kind of dude, you know. But it's hilarious to see. He's such a plain dude, such a straight edge, you know. But so let's see. I had to do this thumbnail, right? This is based off of the thumbnail from Tesla's live. It was right on my home page. Well, is it not? Is it still on this one? Was it on this one? I think it was on the one before I hit refresh. But anyway, here, let me see Tesla. There it is right there. I just screenshot that, put it in there, and was like, hey, use inspiration. I want mine to say mic check. For some reason, it made my text way bigger than this one. And then when I tried to kind of call it out about the large text, I'm probably moving too fast. In this one, I just said add the color. Oh yeah, no, I did. I said the text in yours is dramatically larger. I told it what the problem was. I didn't specifically ask it to change the text in that one. That's on me. That's my bad. Why would I assume that he wouldn't interpret that as a request? Anyway, my next chat to you, it did add the blue, that 02565. That's like one of my brand blues. But anyway, please decrease the font size by 50%. I was very specific about how I want the font size decreased, and I expected that would be a pretty easy one. Flux would have knocked that out, by the way. I wish I could choose Flux as the engine, the image generation. Actually, you know what? I probably Mid Journey probably could have knocked that out too. Change the robot in the background to silhouette of a podcast microphone. I don't know why it chose the icon of a microphone, like the emoji, whatever. I was thinking of something more dramatic, like a 45-degree angle come in. It's like a Shure SMB7, you know, world's most popular podcasting microphone at all levels, at all levels. But anyway, I'd already spent too much time trying to get it to render correctly. You see that it did decrease the text, but that's definitely not half of that. So, I mean, it did decrease it, and that's the one that I ended up going with. All right, so let's have some more fun. Let's where's the chat? Why is it not on the screen? There we go. There. Why is it so tall? Weird. There we go. I like to add one to the top, one to the left or right. And if there's three, they each have their sections where you can just go to the edge of the screen and hit that and hit it. It makes it easy to kind of flip back through. All right, let's just say all right, let's do the audio test, voice mode. I want you to modify the thumbnail again. This time, add a gradient of a very shiny red that should not take up more than 10% of the image. I saw a message that said lost connection, retry. So it looks like it didn't pick any of that up. It didn't type anything. So let's try again. All right. Are you catching anything? Are you catching my chat? I want to modify that image. I want to add a little bit of a shiny red, like a fire truck red, like a bold, or maybe a cherry red somewhere in that image, just as something to give a little bit of contrast to the blue. Just kind of blend it in there where there's some of the blue. It shouldn't be any more than 10% of how much space the blue takes up. Yeah, images don't seem to image generation and voice chat don't seem to do well. So what I want to do is just copy and paste my last message. Um, I was just testing out to see if they had fixed that, but that's happened before. Talking to the chat, like after you have already been using, words and you switch it over to voice mode, it seems to just not do anything outside of having a regular conversation. So I'm not really worried about whether it actually generates a good change to that thumbnail. I'm just going to watch this live back again and see if there was no breaks in my audio on the YouTube live. This is already long enough. It's 9 minutes. This should have been a 2 minute thing. All right, that's kind of cool. Yeah, something like that. I forget. Like in my head, I had some kind of angle. I didn't tell it that, and so that's why I'm looking at it kind of like, all right, that's okay. I mean, it looks kind of cool looking. It's cool looking, but it could have a little more dimension to it. I'm critiquing it like this is an art show. All right, I'm gonna cut this off. I'm gonna cut this YouTube stream off and see how it came through. See how this audio sorted itself out.